Hello everybody, welcome! My name is Ursa Ryan and today we are going to be embracing the chaos. I think I'm a pretty good player of Civ 6, but I know I have a particularly unique repertoire when it comes to the abilities and specialties that I have. Some people are really good at multiplayer, others are very good at winning the game incredibly fast. My ability is in diversity, in making it up as I go along, and playing something once and playing something very well. Now, in the last few series we've been playing with a lot of mods, modded leaders, modded abilities, extra abilities for civs. We're going to strip that all back today, and I'm going to be testing my original strength in Civ 6. Can I still, as it's so kindly telling me right now, weather the storm? Can I make it up as I go along, and can I beat the game on a difficult difficulty? Here's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be playing on Deity++. Now, this game mode is 2 levels above regular Deity. Fuzzle's mod, Deity++, adds this in for me. I want to give myself a real challenge. This is the only gameplay mod we're using today. I'm going to change it to a shuffle map. We're going to keep it on small. I'm going to put tech and civic shuffle mode on as well, just to really spice things up. Plop the start position on balanced, just to hopefully give us a fighting chance. And I'm going to pick myself from random leader pool 1, because what I'm going to do is strip out the leaders of the games that I've played in the last 10 series on the channel, just to make sure we get someone a little bit different. We don't want to be repeating somebody that you've seen in the last couple months. So reluctantly, we have to say goodbye to Kupe, Wilhelmina, Tokugawa. I'm keeping Gilgamesh, by the way, because we played multiple modded versions of Gilgamesh, but none was actually Gilgamesh himself, so that's why I'm keeping him in. Kanumi Suleiman, Bull Moose Teddy, Ptolemaic Cleopatra, Jadwiga, Pedro, Empire Victoria, Hammurabi, and I'm also going to get rid of Shaka and Yongle. So that's kind of the last dozen or so games we've played on the channel. Everyone else hopefully will be someone that we haven't seen in at least a couple of months. We get through quite a few games on this channel, to be honest with you. So here we go, Deity++, all of the details as mentioned here. We can change it so that the game gets no 3 units at the beginning, but even larger bonuses, but I'm going to give them the regular units because it means that I have a lot of chaos to survive in the beginning of the game. Are we going to get warrior rushed? Quite probably. Let's just dive in, and I'm going to talk through this now so you can see that I'm at least giving it a good go. Who are we going to get? Who are we going to see? I don't have a victory condition here. I don't know what sort of map we're going to get given. I don't know how good our start's going to be. So we're going to have to look at what gets put in front of us and make it up as we go along, which is what I really enjoy doing in this game. So I don't know if we're going to be going scientific or cultural or domination or religious or diplomatic, or hey, digging in for 500 turns and going for a score victory, because that is of course the best strategy. Hint, I'm not going for score victory. It's not going to happen. That's not what we're going to be doing at all. I remember doing this. Last time I played a truly random game like this was when I was in the Yogscast offices over Christmas, and we were all playing a random game, and I got given the Ottomans, and I remember seeing it and going, okay, I'm very happy about that choice. That's a lot of fun. I mean, I was going into that game thinking, wow, maybe I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive than usual. It's quite a short game. We've got to be a little bit feisty. And then I saw the Ottomans and thought, okay, that's going to be a lot of fun. Indonesia. Here we go. Jatara, Indonesia. The base version of her, she is incredibly adaptable. We have abilities for holy sites, campuses, industrial zones, and theatre squares. So we can go religious, scientific, domination, or cultural, just on the fact that we have minor adjacency for all of those districts on the coast. Amazing. The Kampung tile is really effective. Yong is one of the strongest mid-game rushes. It depends on if we get a sort of naval map, because this is shuffle. This could be totally landlocked. We don't know. Get ready to improvise. Get ready to absolutely see what we get given today. And okay, that is Krakatoa, but it is not a wonder. It is just simply a volcano. We have no fresh water on this start, although there is a river down there. There is also no plains hills around here. This is all grassland hill. There is some silk, lots of tundra, some offshore amber. So we've actually got 2 different luxuries here. Is there a continent split? No, but we're on the legendary continent of Atlantis. Ah, fantastic. Alrighty, well, the usual rules apply. Come along to Discord if you want this exact save file. I'm going to take a save of it right now so you can load it into your computer and play along. You can manually put the details in yourself to see what you get given. This is what I'm playing with. And I also keep all the mod lists up there as well, including all the user interface mods that I use, which is sometimes people are asking like, well, how do you get the envoy quest or the happiness of my cities at the top of my screen? Well, come along to Discord. You'll find out how. Let's just get cracking. Turn 1, and we have to decide whether or not this is going to to be a good settlement for me. In the mid-term, housing is not going to be such a problem for me because we do unlock the kampong, and each one of these gives us +1 housing. So there is a lot of housing available to us later on. In the short term, however, this start is slightly problematic because the lack of fresh water extends not just to this tile, but also the surrounding tiles. There is no aqueduct available here. Not unless I move. Now, moving would be an option here, and there is one spot that I can see that might be a good settlement for me, but there is no grassland hill around here, or plains hill I should say. This is all grassland hill. If I settle on a grassland hill, the tile is still worth 2-1 as a capital. If I was to settle in place, I have two 2-2 tiles available to me. I have access to the sea. It's quite a defendable location with a second tile silk and amber. However, one option I'm immediately looking at is settling on top of this maze. Now, the maze will give my city center 2 gold, but it also means that I have an availability to an aqueduct because, as we all know, Krakatoa is the best source of spicy water that anyone could ever have. Oh, settling next to Krakatoa. There's nothing that could go wrong with a plan like that. Now, the disadvantages of that plan, well, quite simply involves moving closer to a volcano, and it also involves getting closer to the tundra. So I might have worse tiles. And actually, looking at this shuffle map, do you see how far away from the edge of the map we are? But the tundra is already here. I think this is going to be quite a cold map. So tundra adjacency may be something to look at in the long run. That's good to know because hopefully we will get ourselves a pantheon really quickly, because if I settle next to the coast, my city center gets me 2 faith per turn. That gives me 2 options. Either we get a 3 settler and I scurry around the map looking for a second place to settle as quickly as I can, or maybe we go for tundra adjacency on the religion. Now, don't forget, this is with tech and civic shuffle on, so I can't beeline astronomy, but looking at this, I would normally go animal husbandry out of the 3 options because, of course, when you discover a source of horse, it gives the tile 1 food and 1 production. Not that there's really any tiles around me that might spawn some horse at this point. But you can also see there are 4 branching techs from animal husbandry, whereas there is only 2 for mining and pottery. So this is giving me the biggest chance of going for astronomy. What are the other settling options? I could settle down and take a little bit of a trip over here. It's a bit more of a gamble, but we could go for a turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, possibly either turn 4 or turn 5 settle. I don't know if that's going to be the best option for me here. I'm going to whack a harbour down to get a nice +4. I'm actually being drawn to the maze settle. It's a turn 1 settle. It gives me an era score from being next to Krakatoa, gives me a pretty decent boost for sailing, a nice option for the harbour. There's a lot to like here. And best of all, we can work this silk tile immediately. So the 2-2 tile gets upgraded to a 2-2-1 culture. Excellent. Whack the faith in. Let's spawn a scout as soon as we can, because I need to know what sort of map this is as quickly as we can. In fact, ideally, what we need to do is discover a natural wonder. When you are on a shuffle map like this, it's really, really important to remember your boosts, because that will actually reveal the text for you. And astronomy, well, if we can figure out where that is, we don't need to waste all of our time researching the wrong things. Why am I going for a religion? Well, Indonesia is actually really, really good at not only a science victory, but also a culture, domination, religious, or diplomatic victory. She is the master of all trades as long as you have access to the coast, which I do at least have some access to the coast. I mean, look, you can turn really, really naff tiles into something quite brilliant. This stone tile, well, this doesn't have adjacency for absolutely anything at all, except from the fact that if I put a campus on this tile, it would be +3, because I would have a nice district of triangles, or as we call that in other words, a triangle of districts. I like a district of triangles better. That gives us the +1, but I also get +2 from 4 adjacent coast tiles. So she can make some really, really versatile tiles. In fact, actually, that translates as well to a +3 theatre square or a +3 industrial zone. Lots of different options. I mean, let's not rule out as well their +3 holy site. Loads of options for us. But in order to unlock the religious victory, but also to make use of the fact that we can pray units in with faith, we get more faith. I want to have a high faith economy, so I think getting a religion is going to be really important. I'm going to move my warrior down to this river and see what we can find. Don't forget though, Deity ++. The AI is going to be going absolutely ham for a religion of their own. This is the thing, I don't need my own religion. If I don't get a great profit, big whoop, doesn't matter, but I will be at least using somebody else's, so I will go for a holy site run on this playthrough. Either it works or it doesn't work. We'll find out sooner rather than later. Reveal the map to me. Kabul. Kabul is an incredibly strong domination city-state. Double experience from battles, effective effectively makes naval units unkillable. And it makes frigates and Yong units incredibly effective because they only need about 5 shots at a city center to get the 2 promotions to get plus 17 against districts. So suddenly, domination, just from finding Kabul there, is looking a little bit more likely. If not domination, then at least going slightly aggressive. Again, remember, Deity++, you have the flip. The game is incredibly tough and the AI starts with huge bonuses, so an early to mid-game rush on domination is incredibly difficult. However, each civilization will have at least 5 or 6 cities by turn 50, so if we do go domination, the prize is pretty huge. Kabul does have a nice fleet of warriors. Maybe we can have a look at killing these. I might be able to run in here and kill the Barb camp. That's handy. I guess we could also look to kill Kabul, but I don't think that's the option we really need. Mohenjo-Daro, that is also a really good find for me. Cities have full housing from water. Well, my capital has no housing, so already that's looking pretty effective. And okay, we don't have a lot of tundra up here, but suddenly we are looking at a +4 holy site next to a volcano. Now that also translates to a campus, so we've now got 2 high yield options for both a campus and a holy site. That's really good. I guess if we went for Machu Picchu, which on Deity++ is incredibly unlikely, I could also make that into a +6 industrial zone, but maybe let's suggest that's not going to happen. What do we do now? I have not been shown anything that would hint to me that this is a particularly big island. There's a mountain range to my north I can't go past, so I think boats are going to be important here, and sailing is unlocked behind about 28 turns worth of tech. There's also nothing that I can improve quickly unless I was to go and put quarries down on this stone really fast, which I could do if I went for mining. Let's put a few turns into a monument. I wouldn't normally do that, but I mean, I'm looking pretty safe here. Kabul is demolishing barbarians around me. Can't complain. And it looks like we can't actually go past this. I'm going to just move a unit through Kabul before they close their lands. I might be able to run my scout through here. But this is a very, very low space start. This is condensed. This is packed in. What are we going to do with this? In fact, we've actually only got space for 1 city. That's ridiculous. I very much hope there's space down here, which it looks like there may be, as long as Kabul doesn't grab this stone tile, which they probably will on their first run. Suzerainship of Kabul or destroying Kabul. Both of those are options for me, but Kabul is all important here. Let's crack into God King to get that Pantheon as fast as possible. Go Discipline just in case the barbs appear. This reef is useful. First source of turtle that we can get, but it means that either one of these 2 campuses are going to be +3. Actually, that's a +4 because of the rainforest. Nice. Let's remember that. Here is the civic tree. Early Empire for more settlers is hidden behind a few things, but we can actually rush it first. Wow, we've got a full choice of everything. That's mad. Do we go for state workforce and rush for governors? That might be the option in order to get Amani to unlock Kabul. Well, seeing as we've got so little housing, I'm rushing a settler really quickly here. Let's get that second city out. There is an AI to the south somewhere. Somebody met Mohenjo-Daro. I don't want to take the risk of the Deity++ AI settling here and going, you have no space now for cities. None at all. Volcano. All right, that is a solid mountain wall. We cannot get around it. The Tundra Pantheon could still be worth it, but it's looking unlikely now. I thought I might have a big access to Tundra. That would be very much a Pantheon where we'd be trying to get a benefit for later into the game. Bronze working would give us iron. There is a lot of hill around here, so maybe there would be a source of iron somewhere. It might get rid of my aqueduct, but if it does get rid of the aqueduct, it's not a problem if Mohenjo-Daro is around. We can get our housing elsewhere. Plus, don't forget, our capital doesn't have to be our Pingala city, so it doesn't have to be absolutely huge. Oh, the land actually ends in that direction as well. All right, at least we have an option here to settle a city potentially on the chocolate, but it's not ideal. This is a very strange start. We have almost no space whatsoever. Maybe we will have to absolutely attack into the city-states here. I don't really want to. Religious settlements is an option. So I could get the settler out, get the 3 settler, and then go for a 3-city start, and then just hopefully try and get sailing as fast as possible. That could be one option. As I say, Dance of the Aurora would at least give this holy site another +1. I don't think Dance of the Aurora works on Tundra Mountains, does it? I always get that wrong. I always forget that, but at least a +5. I mean, a +5 would be very handy. It just depends on how aggressively the AI goes for this. We know the benefit of going for production on fishing boats, but I don't really have a lot of sea resources here. There are no camps, which is another good one. A lot of pastures, huge amount of sheep in this area, and some cattle as well. Oh, there is one deer down below below me. This is a real head scratcher. I'm going to take the gamble here. Because the start isn't really giving me much in any particular direction, I'm going to go for religious settlements and go for the border expansion. This at least gets me my 3 settler. It adds about 4 turns on to building my settler, but it means I can go for the 3 city setup quickly. I was thinking about putting a city on that tile, be able to work the campus as fast as possible. Actually, if I have a city there, maybe this is a really good campus, but there could also be the opportunity to put a double campus spot down on that assortment of tiles as well. Even if I'm not going for a scientific victory, going for a little bit of science is pretty handy. It stops me from being blown away by the AI. Okay, one thing that I can immediately tell, moving around this continent is going to be an absolute pain, especially if Kabul just keeps putting units down on this little peninsula. Get out of there. Like, I'm trying to move my settler through. I don't need this. Who is this? This might be Greece. Okay. Greece can be quite angry and defensive at the beginning of the game, you know, but it's Pericles seemingly rather than Gorgo. That makes me a little happier. Of course it's not. It's Bavaria. It's Germany. Right. Now, that is one of the strongest Deity++ AIs in the game. Germany is held really, really well, and they have a wonder. Okay. Provides 1 faith and 1 production. That at least gives me the astronomy and the writing buffs, whereas astrology, it's down there. Okay, so if I want to go for religion, we need to be going in totally the opposite direction. You know, I think I do want to be doing that. Let's divert. Let's go pottery into astrology and just see how quickly we can boost this. I want to focus on getting my holy site. Aha, that worked really well. Oh, that works really well as well. Okay, oh, it's put the extra yield on metal I was going to get rid of. Never mind. We have my settler right down into this peninsula. We can go and work the chocolate as soon as possible. Mohenjo-Daro is going to act as a pretty good natural barrier here, stopping me from getting in, stopping the AI from getting out. Naval access will be the name of the game, I think. Portugal. Okay, we also have an incredibly strong naval power against us. Fine, love to assembly hospitality. They're just there. Portugal and Germany have spawned right on top of each other. Very interesting indeed. Maybe we can become friends with one of them and fight the other. That could be what we end up doing. I still think Kabul right now is going to be an incredibly useful ally. I'm also now realizing that a canal on this tile is going to be incredibly important, because if I'm going to get access between these bodies of water, I don't know if I can get around the north of this island, so I'm going to put that pin down immediately and just hope that I don't forget about it. So just as I expected, Germany and Portugal are actually at war, and they are throwing warriors at each other very quickly. Mohenjo-Daro has been seized by Germany, so maybe that city-state will be sacrificed eventually. I don't know, but it does seem quite handy. I'll be honest with you. There's my second city. We have the chocolate. How much will it sell for? Not much. Okay, maybe the AI will buy that in a second, but we do have a source of turtle immediately. Might see if I can get the builder working on this as fast as possible. Thank you. And there is my settler that I've built. So we're going to go to 3 cities immediately. I physically cannot fit more on this landmass, so we're going to have to build infrastructure now. Let's finish this monument and then go into builder. The good thing about it being so cramped, very little chance of barbarians spawning, so at least we've got that. It's cramped, but it's safe. Oh, right. Kabul, you need to stop leaving these warriors everywhere. I want to get my settler through, okay? I'm having to physically move warriors and settlers in order to just try and forge a path through here, because it's just so annoying. I'm going to take a beeline into mining first, just so that I can mine a resource. I don't think I've got any mineable resources. Oh man, there's going to be so many diversions here, but we want to get a religion. I think having 2 quarries down is going to help with that massively, especially for craftsmanship. Boosting that would help a lot as well. Where's this settler going? I bet you the settler is actually in the process of heading over in this direction, and I can't move my warrior across because I bet this warrior will move up onto the tile I want to stand on. But I bet it's coming towards me. I bet they want to go and settle here, which would be the most annoying thing. Oh, they've left access open to me. Look at that. Done. First monument is finished. Excellent. Caguana. This one is involved with Portugal. So we have 2 cultural city-states, one on each side of this combat, both fighting. Oh, but at least that lets me know where political philosophy is, and that is through mysticism, which I kind of want to be going towards anyway for the profit points per turn. City number 3. 3. I think I'm just going to end up going for a builder in this city as well. Just everyone gets a builder. I think this is quite a strange use of early game gold for me, but there's no point saving it for a settler here, so I think I might just go monument. Bam. Up to 7.4 culture per turn. Going big on the old infrastructure here. Looks like Germany actually has the upper hand on this war. They may go in and attack Porto here. If I go Dark Age, not a problem. We will use Holy Sites to get a huge bonus to our science per turn. I think that actually a Dark Age would be a pretty decent play here for me, so I'll maybe go for that. My first quarry. Masonry is boosted. Oh, I would love sailing. I really would. No one has anything to do right now. Having to manually build granaries. This is not a good use of my time. This really isn't. No matter. We'll just keep growing as fast as we can. I'm beelining for profits here. Looks like Germany and Portugal have both gone for a science star. I've got some very scientific, very aggressive neighbors. Oh joy. Sure, that won't come back to bite me or hurt me in any way. The scout has been stuck on this tile for about 7 turns because Germany is refusing to move its troops. Please move your troops. It's Menanke built. That's fine. Still stuck on this tile. Craftsmanship. Boosted. Irrigation. Boosted. Well, hey. We're actually doing some stuff now. Wheel. Let's go astrology. Come on. Let's do this. Nobody has any profit points just yet. It's a really awkward place. It's not just me that might be struggling to get to it. It might also be the AI. Stonehenge is gone. Okay. Choral music was taken from that. Fine. I don't actually think I had any spaces for Stonehenge. No, this tile technically would have been Stonehengeable, but I mean, chances of me being able to win out on that one, very unlikely. Kabul, do you have any boats? I don't know if you've got any boats, but I feel like Kabul and Amani are going to be integral for me right now. This will be era score in the classical era. Oracle has been finished. There's the Dark Age. I don't think we're going to have a loyalty problem. I think we're okay. 16, 20. Yeah, we're absolutely fine. Good. I will stick with 3 inquiry. It's the easiest way of making reliable era score. And speaking of, where do I want to put the road down? I really want the trade route with Kabul, don't get me wrong, but this is a very rare opportunity to actually put a road down on all of these tiles. So I'm quite tempted to do that, you know? Although my capital is probably the place that I'd like to move to. Yeah, we'll move the trade route in the other direction, but that's actually really handy. You know what isn't useful? Having this scout still stood on this tile. Please let me out. Please, or at least kick me out of your borders. Do something. This purgatory is awful. There is mysticism. An extra envoy, which is useful, but I'm actually going to just beeline straight through to political philosophy to get the great profit points into my government via classical republic or something similar. I'm going to save my envoy as well to be able to double it up. 1 turn away from astrology. 1 turn. 1 turn is all we need. Masonry. Don't have that. It's going to be a slight problem. I'm actually thinking now, where am I going to put the holy site for Badung? Quite like the +2 idea there. Until I have masonry, I'm not going to be able to do that, am I? So, keep an eye on that. We'll work out if that's a good thing in the meantime. I love this road. This is such a handy road. Let's just take it. And currency gives me an era score. Right, the golden age into the medieval era is going to be so important for me. We do want to make sure that that goes through. Oh, I can get through. Haha! Thank you for putting a district down on this tile. I'm finally available and ready to go. Astrology. Okay. Time to go big. Time to get these holy sites down. I am going to just use this lovely +4. Whack that in. Lock it in because, you know, people always say lock in the district adjacency costs and the construction costs. So this is a strategy. Let me talk about this just briefly. I see this in the comments quite a bit. If you do what I've just done and put the holy site down, you're effectively locking it into this tile. So now it counts as one of my districts. I can't unplace it. It is stuck there. But it also freezes the production cost. It's worth 92 production. If I left this alone and I say got like 3 more techs and then came back to it later, it might be worth more. It might be worth 100 production. So by popping it down, you freeze in a lower production cost and you can come back to it later and finish it off. So why don't I do this more? Well, because you can only have 1 district in this city. It's only got 3 population. And I might change my mind. I might find like a really quick upgrade to harbors, for instance. And in that go, you know what? I'd rather have a harbor down. So now that I've locked in that holy site, there's nothing I can do. So yes, it is more efficient to lock it in, but I prefer to remain flexible in whether or not I want to use that district at any one point. And the problem with locking it in quickly is that, well, it is just that. It's locked in. Can't change your mind. You've got to build that district now. Now, for me, I know I'm going to put a holy site there. That's fine. But that is the main reason I never do it. I change my mind too often. What can I say? 16 turns on this holy site. I was thinking about leaving a mausoleum available in this city, but I'm not too worried about that. I'd rather go for the +6 holy site, and I'd rather get a nice +3 holy site and a +6 harbor. That's kind of what I'm going for in this city. Good to know. There is a barb galley lurking around at sea, so before I throw my builder in and start upgrading turtles, I really should focus on getting some sort of navy. Kabul did claim this tile. That is annoying, but I didn't want to use the gold in this early stage of the game, so we'll keep it locked in. We'll keep it going. We've got the +1 diplomatic favor from having Kabul on side now. That's looking lovely. 2 people have gone golden ages and have gone for religions, so we might find that the good religions like feed the world disappear. We may also realize that they claim profits, but they don't actually make a religion because they don't have any holy sites. It's just the golden age era score achievement that gives them the profit points. So sometimes you do see the AI going for that. It's not the end of the world. Don't worry. Looks like Germany might be as locked in as I am here. They don't have much space. They've still got 2 cities, 600 military strength. So the AI is doing the thing where they can't do anything else but make units. So what are they going to do? Make units, and make units like crazy. But hey, if they're going to do it, they're going to do it. I'm glad that they enjoy it. Irrigation is done. Now I have actually a lovely pasture there for Badung, which gives me horseback riding, some era score. We can get this plantation down for another luxury, and now make our way over to bronze working to get the iron, but also to unlock things like sailing, writing, masonry, all very useful techs. Germany likes me because I'm not building any districts. I think that's a bit of a backhanded compliment, but I'll take it. As long as Mohenjo-Daro is here, I don't have to worry too much about being invaded in this early stage of the game, but I'd rather not take that risk. Portugal also very much locked in here, and they've built a preserve on the coast. What are you doing? I mean, it is a breathtaking tile, so they've gone for that. They've gone for the housing in the district is the big thing, but that is ridiculous. Okay, bronze working. How much iron did we get? Oh, 1 source and 2 sources right on the aqueduct. We knew that was a possibility of happening. That's okay. We had already come to that conclusion. Sometimes this thing happens. It's the price of progress. We must keep pushing ever forward. Classical Republic Revelation. Let's get the profits and let's get them done quickly. Diplomatic League doubles up my initial envoy. We've got urban planning, and I think we'll pop in caravassaries. Caravassaries would be really handy. Just a tiny bit of extra gold. I could sell my luxuries, I am noticing, for considerable gold, but I'm wondering if that's actually worth it. No, both of my cities would become unhappy if I did that. Okay, backtracking now. Early Empire. Let's unlock that as quickly as we can. And Macedon appears with 5 cities and 32 science per turn. Oh dear, honored to meet you. Let's exchange information on capitals. Oh, it's just a scout. That's okay. I was worried they would have found me from something worse. They're over to my right. Interesting. Oh, that's a German scout. No, maybe they found me some other way. Probably a galley. It's probably a galley. Here is iron working. My capital is now pulling in some iron. That is a source of gold in this early game. We like that. +3 holy site. I could build the hanging gardens for some more growth. That feels like a bad move. Could also run for some great generals, but I think the navy is going to be the primary avenue of aggression for me in this game. Where would I like to send my governor then? I feel like Pingala is quite useful. Magnus would also be quite useful as well. A Magnus capital to spam some settlers out of. We've got a couple of chops in this city, haven't we? Not a high population city. If I'm saying that, it's got 8 housing already. That's pretty crazy. I'm going to go for Pingala, mainly actually for the great points, because I might make this city into a bit of a glut of great people. I also have access to the monasticism card, and that'll be an extra 15% in the Pingala city. I'm just not running it at the moment because we want to get the religion in the first place. Once we've got the religion, we'll run that card as fast as we can. For open borders, they'll give me some horses. All right, you can have open borders if you want. I mean, I know you're stuck here. You're not getting anywhere because Kabul's units are going to bottle you in. But hey, whatever makes you feel happy about it all. Celestial navigation. That's a handy thing. Do I want to get that or the writing first? Nobody has any admiral points coming out at the moment, so I'm actually going to beeline celestial navigation. That could be really handy. Here's the turtles, and here is the amber. Celestial navigation's been boosted, and you can see, look how many luxuries we've got. We could sell them for 29 gold per turn. Oh my lord, if I could actually build anything right now, that would be tempting. And at the moment, it means that we've got 20% bonus yields in my capital, so I might stick with that for as long as we can. A shrine's been claimed. The first prophet. We're going to keep an eye on this. I'm willing to bet that neither of these get made into a religion. So there'll be 2 prophets just on the loose somewhere, but no religion to back it up. I'm willing going to take a bet on that. And by that, I mean I'm like 0% confident. Germany has a ton of galleys, though. If we're going to go after Germany, we've got to make sure that it's not just a random attack. It's got to be a proper Zhong rush. Lots of gold, lots of science, well timed. In fact, actually, we'll have a look at our unique unit. This is unlocked with mercenaries. And to get mercenaries, we need 8 land units to find out where it is. But I think we can do that fairly quickly. Another holy site finished. Well, let's get the shrine. Let's get this done. Selling my iron. Well, I might as well sell it to Germany. It doesn't matter. They can have as many iron units as they want. I will start to get some galleys and we'll go and explore. We'll go and kill barbs and make sure we can work our crabs. Yep, religion's not made yet. And whoever this is actually skipped on a great prophet. I've never seen that before. Why would you skip on a great prophet? Fine. Don't complain. Oh, that's annoying. Germany just put down a new settlement of Heidelberg. Means they escaped somewhere, probably to sea, which means I'm going to have a lot more Germany out there. Yeah, there's shipbuilding. So they probably went harbors and then rushed that pretty quickly. Good to know. All right, well, we've got our first set of galleys out now. Some good settlement spots to my bottom right. So as soon as we get to the sea, there will be space to expand. But as I say, it's mainly doing this. Oh no, Confucianism just got founded. Macedon got feed the world. Oh, you absolute jerk. Why would you do that? Oh, I was going to feed the world. Of course I was going to feed the world. All right. Do I want to steal their religion? I could steal their religion. The reason I was going to feed the world is because I've got really annoying coastal cities with no housing here. I could go work ethic. To be honest, that's not a bad idea as well, because we've got pretty high adjacency holy sites and we're only going to go up. I'll go work ethic, but Macedon, I'm really annoyed. I could have run a couple of projects, to be honest, rather than building boats. So it's my own fault, but that was my gamble. I just assumed that they wouldn't build a holy site. That's what they've done. They had the prophet, had no holy sites. Eventually they built it. Fine, whatevs. And now they're denouncing me. You know what? You do whatever. Oh, they've actually taken over Kabul. Macedon is my new favorite enemy. just putting it out there now. Do you very much have to keep an eye on Germany here, because 665 military strength, of which is mostly galleys. There is a good chance that they may decide that I am too weak and that they just want to attack me. I won't be weak for very long. Once we get shipbuilding, we're going to just focus on getting the religion up, building a bit of a land army, doing a lot of fun stuff just to help with the boosts. But there's a bit of a problem here where we might get overrun by a galley swarm if they decide they don't like us. The only good thing is that our cities are protected by one-tile bays, so we're pretty protected. And there is my prophet. I'm just going to wait one turn. Oh, I have to wait one turn anyway, but I was going to wait one turn just to let this city finish its holy site, and then I'd have it spread all through without needing to do anything. Pingala's going to go researcher this time. I know, going researcher instead. Why would I do that? Well, because now I've got monasticism boosting it even further. 75% extra science in that city is awesome. Look at that, 31 science per turn. Yes. And finally, a very special shout out goes to Glorious Petra, Matthew Wilkinson, Paul Coffey, Portland, Clint Hennis, The Nickerman, Scott Stratton, Major King Kong, Skeptical Bear, Cinnamon Beard, Radiatore, Private Selection, Genoa Salami, Callum Billy, Garrett Gowan, Polar Beret, El Truant, Creston, RB Hedged, Mushkin Mandeltort, Burial, I'm Daft, Gooberman, Dr. Bobby, Polar Waller Bear, Mixomatosis, NTG Golfman, Indigenous 68, Technology Poet, Teddy Zersa, Zaf, Barnaby Rex, Charlie Bears, Flying Dutch Burbs, Nate the Great, Alex Frost, Mean Penguin, Interplanet Janet, Mr. Awesome, Frankincense Battlezord, Sleepy Lab, Bookaluk 79, Bob Loblaw, Davalex, Geography Teacher, Juvara, Daddy Bear Todd. Thank you everyone for your support. See you all in the next video. Goodbye.